noi?
Sì.
Sì, grazie.
Circa di 18 euro nel suo caso, perché danno e furto. Poi abbiamo un'ulteriore assicurazione per le firme sul contratto. Questi ci sono già dei graffi già indicati. E adesso lo controlliamo insieme.
Excess insurance, hidden costs. Sometimes renting a car can turn into a nightmare. We went to Italy, one of the countries with the most complaints, to discover what are the most common problems and how to protect your rights.
We rented a car for our holidays in Italy, and when we returned it, we put the keys in the drop box, as nobody was there. When we went home, we had a nasty surprise. We'd been charged €600 without any explanation.
Nearly a year's gone by since Salvatrice, a French woman, went to Catania on holiday with her partner. Hers is a very common case. It was her word against the car rental companies. Her complaint will now be examined by an Italian court, which means finding a lawyer and additional costs to try and get her €600 back.
Following my complaint, we received these photos. We don't know when they were taken, but if you compare my contract with them, you can see the crosses. Basically, the car was already damaged when we took it. It's just a rip-off. They didn't compare these photos with the contract. I hope this document will demonstrate that I don't owe them anything.
Que ce véhicule était bien endommagé et que je n'ai rien à leur payer.
Salvatrice's case was followed up by European consumer centres in France and Italy. Monica Di Gregorio is the expert for car rental complaints in the Rome office and explains that she handles an average of 80 international cases a year.
We had already closed this case, as the car rental company gave us a negative reply. They said that when the clients rented the car, the agency was run by a company that went bankrupt.
Precedentemente era gestito da una compagnia la quale risulta fallita.
We don't have any enforcement powers. Therefore, we can only try to resolve it in a friendly way, out of court.
When keys are left in a drop box, the customer is responsible for the car until the car rental employee closes the contract. Salvatrice complains that she was never informed that another company, CarNet, was behind the brand she contacted for her car rental.
It's surprising because I signed my contract with Budget. Today they tell me that CarNet has gone bankrupt, but I've never heard of it. I signed with an international company that should protect me from this kind of bankruptcy problem, but it actually doesn't. I feel like they've lied to me.
Et en fait, non. Donc j'ai en plus l'impression d'avoir été qu'on m'a menti en fait.
Avis, who took over Budget last June, replied they have no information on the case in spite of them being contacted by the European Consumer Centre. Their French branch agreed last July to refund the customer, then disappeared. So what can a customer do to avoid being driven round the bend? Beware of fuel charges for one. If the tank's not 100% topped up, you risk being stung with an inflated price for the missing fuel. Beware of off-limits areas and remember that a fine's often increased by administration charges, as this car rental manager explains.
Nel nostro caso è di 50 euro.
In our case, it's €50. For every fine, the client also has to pay an administration fee of €50.
Basic insurance often doesn't include damage to all parts of the car, like windows, tyres and the roof, and the super collision damage waiver can work out to be very expensive. Experts suggest buying excess insurance independently online. Then carefully read the contract, including the small print. Car hire insurance policies are usually riddled with catches.
In Italy, there is a problem linked to regions considered a high theft risk. In these regions, some car hire companies apply double excess in case the car is stolen.
Tutte le compagnie di noleggio, alcune.
These regions are Campania, Basilicata, Molise, Puglia and Calabria.
In Campania, Basilicata, Molise, Puglia e Calabria.
Let's go home.
When it's time to return the car, it's important to hand the keys back to the person at the desk and then check the car together. Some car hire companies might jump at the chance to charge you for damage to the car you've hired.
Among the complaints that we receive, a really small percentage are closed, with the consumer being refunded. Often when it happens, car rental companies don't admit their fault.
And when your holidays are over, always keep the paperwork and check your credit card statement.